It's a time for more packages from China. Let's go. Oh yeah, so Miyoo is stepping up their game, and I can say this thing is not like a real emulation piece or something like that. It's a quite interesting piece of technology. So Miyoo is a brand that releases a lot of these handhelds and like more in compact form. And this version is also very compact. But there was some particular thing that I really find it really appealing, so reviewing this here on the channel. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So in this video we are going to take a close look. I already mentioned a couple of times the Miyoo handheld. Comes here with a very nice manual or instruction how you need to like firmware update, stuff like that. So take some time to check it out. I will also show you some features of what we're going to get in the handheld. So now we're going to get ourselves like an okay quality but short Type-C cable. We're going to get a card reader. Oh, a little bit bummer, they are giving you the USB 2.0. You don't need to be happy with these, especially when you want to like load up big sums of files. Then we're going to get the handheld itself, and look at this. The guide sticker. Like, what the hell? Dust absorber. Okay, and clean wipes if you have a very filthy screen. And I think there is even a screen protector under here. It comes with this very cool protection case. I don't know if every seller is going to sell you one of these protection cases, but sometimes you just need to purchase them separately or in a combination pack. But I must say that I am not the biggest fan of these form factors. So if you're searching a very tiny handheld, so yeah, this is one of those things you can basically pick up. But there was something else that I also noticed with this device. But the first impression of this handheld is quite good because it feels very nice, very durable, but also it feels like a very nice quality product. But let's start with the D-pad to begin with. Okay, so the D-pad itself isn't a very short travel D-pad, and it does not feel smushy or very horrible. No, this thing feels actually pretty damn nice. I've played around with it and I must say that I was very surprised how good it felt. Then the A, B and XY buttons also very nice and got a very nice touch. Over here we're going to get the plastics, the hard plastic, select and start. And here we're going to get a button in the middle. Mostly is going to enter a menu, for example for quick load and quick save. At the bottom we're going to get a jack out for headphone. Then we're going to get ourselves the CF card over here. Then we're going to have a Type-C connection for charging and data transfer. At the left side we're going to get a volume control. I'm always very happy with the volume control. Some of the handhelds like have these combinations like select up and down. I personally don't like it. I just want to have a physical volume controller over here. Okay, at the back we're going to get 4 buttons. And here is the first problem I'm personally having. Because I'm having big hands for a tiny handheld, it's not going to be super comfortable to play. And I also like need to like find my grip on this device, but like using the shoulder buttons, I have really no idea like how to do this. I personally even prefer to putting them on the top, for example, where we had this with the LDK devices. But at the back, I'm just going to be honest, I'm personally not a fan of those. Okay, when you're removing the back cover here, we can find the special Miyoo battery. And yeah, this is a 1900 milliampere that we can feel like a couple of hours of playtime. And so far I know it's not saying like a limited or specially made for it, but I couldn't find like a lot of information regarding this battery. Maybe you can always buy them through the factory or manufacturer them itself. But this is not like your BL5C Nokia battery they can pick up like from every single store from AliExpress. So that's something you need to take into consideration, and it also gives you like most of the weight of the handheld itself. And here at the top we're going to get the on-off switch and 3 LEDs. And also, so far I understand, an indication for how far the battery is full or empty. Okay, another thing that I think the most appealing to this device is the display itself. Okay, so when you're playing a game you especially notice it because now everything is quite dark. But the handheld is had it on like, let's say, what I find kind of interesting, the form factor in combination with the display. It looks amazing. It's an IPS display. Let me remove the freaking screen protector, by the way. But it got a very nice, like say, viewing angle, and yeah, it does have like a glossy screen, so it's going to be quite difficult to record from. But what I like about this thing is that it is a very nice, like very limited bezel, and it makes like such a different experience when playing a game. Okay, so next up we're going to get game RetroArch applications. Here we can mess around even with open bore, stuff like that. Here we're having the settings, so here we can put even the brightness on number 10. Let's put it in that, this makes it even a little bit better recording. Colors, language, key maps, even like the background we can shut it off if we don't want that. Hibernation will never be happening. Device information over here. Here you can see the CPU is running on 1200 megahertz. I don't think it's like memory, only 128 megabyte. And even having an including a hardware test, so you can test everything out if you're having some issues. So it's quite interesting what you're going to get inside the software package itself. But when it comes to the games, this is basically where we can play with it. So this is going to be focused up to PlayStation 1, stuff that we mostly see with, let's say, the cheaper handhelds. And like these things are not like absolutely emulation beasts. It's quite interesting if most of them will run PlayStation 1. But if it's going to be run perfectly, that is something we're going to find out. Okay, so let's start with some Game Boy. You can see like there is a bezel around it. It's kind of cool. But you can see like the battery indication is not here. When pressing the middle button here, you can see like we do have option to making quick load, quick save. Then we're even having the option going back to the native resolution. So it's basically like the emulator itself at the background. So if you want to show the FPS or you want to use the skater option, full screen, stuff like that, you can change it basically over here. And this freaking tiny speaker is going to be sounding pretty damn loud. And this is just the first thing I'm noticing with this handheld. Like the display looks so great. Even, let's say, older games. And the D-pad is very comfortable to play. No weird emulation stuff going on with the Game Boy. Let's check out what we're going to get with different games. Alright, so next up let's try a Game Boy Advance game. I wouldn't be surprised it's going to be in the perfect resolution like the original system, but I think it looks still amazing here on the Miyoo. Okay, so next up let's play some Beefcake Becoming Worthy. So let's take it up a notch with the 16-bit. You know how it goes? Let's see. Okay. Punch him in the face, kick him in the balls. Punch him in the face, kick him in the balls. That's the way to play. Beefcake Wolfie. Grab, need the powerball, need the powerball, need to become Beefcake. Yeah! Well, when you're playing these games, it runs just fine and it looks amazing. I just keep seeing it, I know, but the thing is like, I'm a little bit of a fan of this handheld, especially due of the freaking display. But again, like, if you just need to have using the front-facing buttons, it's just okay, you know. But I hate using the back ones. Oh yeah, Beefcake to the maximum level. Alright, like crank up the volume. There are some minor differences between the emulator. Okay, so next up is a system that you don't see very often, this Neo Geo Pocket. I personally love to play on my original Neo Geo Pocket. I have one with an official, or I got an official system, but with a non-official IPS display. But this is just a fun way to play. And by the way, the Sonic game is absolutely cool port of the Sonic series. And this is just a really cool way to play them, because let's be honest, like Sonic is a system in combination with Neo Geo you don't get to collect that often, because they're quite rare and they're quite expensive. But I think if you're going to slap a lot of different games in this device, you will have a lot of fun. But to begin with, like MAME is a system that can have some issues, but nowadays with even these, let's say, cheap handhelds, they don't have any issues whatsoever. Alright, so next up let's try the D-pad for some fighting games. And I must say that I needed to get used to it. And the main reason is because you need to press it, like, because it's a long, it's not a super long travel, but it does have like a long travel. So you need to get used to the D-pad in general. Like, I have a small handicap with it, but after messing around with it for some time, I got used to it. Another thing I also tried was unloading a save and load time. And here you see, like, I just load into the first bracket I basically made a very long time ago. And also that worked instantly. So when it comes to that system, it's absolutely amazing. Okay, but let's push this device to the limit, and that's the only thing that we can do is with the PlayStation 1 system in combination with Bloody Roar 2. Oh, I'm going to fight against myself, okay. But I already played it, of course, before basically want to record it, and I noticed, like, yep, we're going to get some minor frame dips here and there. So out of the box with this firmware. And again, like, if you can live with some minor VIPs, it's not going to be a big of a deal. But here you can see like an overall performance is not bad at all. But again, like this is just a limit. Even if they can manage to like put some different system on it, this system is just made for up to running PlayStation 1. But I think like when you're looking at the upcoming, of the last years that have reviewed a lot of devices, it's quite interesting just to see how it develops. In the beginning we had so much issue like emulation of PlayStation 1, but nowadays we can just play them on like tiny handhelds. Alright guys, so let's do a quick teardown just to see what we're going to get in the inside. But I find it a quite interesting piece of technology when it comes to the Miyoo. Like Miyoo is a brand that is around for some time now. And personally I did review a couple of them and I still own a couple of these handhelds. And I must say like Miyoo has some special place in my heart when it comes to these devices. But again, like they are limited. So if you're searching like an emulation beast that is quite compact, you're not going to find it with Miyoo. Because they are not like powerful enough. I think it's quite interesting to see that these tiny handhelds can now run PlayStation 1. And with like basic chips and in combination with, let's say, the form factor they're using it. But again, like the most appealing thing I'm having with this device is just the display itself. So here you can just basically see what happens over here. Here we're going to get the back shell with the 4 buttons. Then over here we're going to get a ribbon cable. They did even put some special tape over it that it's not getting loose. So that is a very positive thing. There's some good thinking over there. We're going to get 4 micro switches. Oh, there's even a rumble motor in it. I personally even didn't know that. But here you can see like it does have the option for rumble function if you want to. And that's it, you know, like there is nothing much to see over here. Alright, here we're going to get the SD card. It was a 32 gigabyte version. Don't know if I can maybe lift it out. But I would not be surprised there's nothing else to see, to be honest. There's no extra screws in the inside that holds everything in place. But that's basically the thing I wanted to see. The only thing that we're going to get like some membrane rubbers and display. But you can replace it, so that's a very positive thing. Alright guys, so this new handheld is absolutely cool. Especially like, I think the biggest selling point is the display because it looks amazing. And it's such a cool experience in combination with the form factor. For my hand, they're not like, this is not super comfortable, but it's quite interesting to see what this thing can play, even up to PlayStation 1. Let me know in the comments what do you think of this Miyoo, would you consider buying it? I want to thank you for watching, consider subscribing, hit that little bell, become one of the Wicked family, and I will see you in the next video.